Alright, so let's start with something fun this morning. There is a big wave of gaming in India. Across the world, yes, but mostly in India as well. The gaming ecosystem is set to grow at approximately 9 billion by 2027. That's just the India number. And the fact that Indians are now the biggest market for mobiles and accessibility is to the remotest corner of the country, that makes it even more exciting. But the thing is with gaming, it's extremely westernized. The gap now on how to bring an Indian touch to gaming is being met by two boys who have done their own ghar wapsi of sorts and now are blending Indian mythology and Indian stories into the gaming ecosystem. So say bye-bye to just your US SEALs and guns and blood and all of that. Say hello to Maharana, Pratap and some sword playing that can now happen on the games. Such interesting work, so we had to get them on the program. Let's say hello to Kritarth and also, I hope we have them now.
Hello.
And Sudhanshu. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi, hi. So Kritarth and Himanshu both come from IITs, then went abroad, did their MBAs and their masters and everything there. While they were setting up their company, and they obviously are avid gamers and storytellers from what I know, they figured out that why aren't we talking about India's rich mythology, India's rich culture and stories here and turning that into games. Such an interesting thought. So Kritarth, let me begin with you. What was that one moment that came to your mind and they said, this is what we need to do. This is what India needs and perhaps what the world needs at the moment.
Yeah, so I myself am a big gamer, so as I used to play all these games and Sudhanshu is big history buff. So as we used to have those discussions of games and history, that like spurred that thought, like how we have such rich heritage of history, culture. In medieval era, you can go back to ancient era. So you can go however back in time, and we have such that rich heritage that we haven't been able to showcase in a simple and authentic way to our youth and kids. And that's what like we thought like, okay, our vision is to power every household with Bharatiya storytelling. And those stories will be of our history, of our valor of our legends. That was our vision. We started with that, and then our mission is to actually indulge the kids and youth through into the Bharatiya storytelling through online and offline mediums, particularly like games and apps and physical books.
Right, that sounds really interesting, getting the culture, getting the values, and what a beautiful way to sort of take the story of Indian heritage and culture forward, not just abroad, but even in India. So much of it can just limited to books. Now imagine gamifying it and the fun kids are going to have with it. But you, both of you, Sudhanshu and Kritarth, you've done something even exciting. They are about to launch a new game. It's a mobile game called The Legend of Maharana. And they were so kind that they decided to launch it on TBC. So friends, what you're going to see next is the first ever glimpse of this game. Enjoy it, critique it, send us your feedback because we're going to be asking them some tough questions afterwards. Take a look.
ये कहानी सन 1576 में हल्दी घाटी से शुरू होती है, जब मेवाड़ के शूरवीर महाराणा प्रताप सिंह ने अपने शौर्य की विजय गाथा लिख दी।
Nice. Like I said, no more guns. It'll be a lot of sword fighting over there. That sounds quite exciting. So Sudhanshu, tell us, what was storytelling is your forte, right? So what aspects of history are we going to see in these games? Like I said, the motive here seems to be, from my chat with you guys earlier, that you want to drive home the point of not just really good graphics, VFX, which anyways Indians are doing such a good job at, and now a market for the world, but to sort of get the Indian storytelling also in it.
Yes, absolutely. So this game is the first in the series of Legend of Bharat platform that we have. We have a lot of legends who have been, like, we have been a country of warriors and inventors in since ancient times, and this is the first game in that series because Maharana Pratap is so popular and his horse Chetak is so popular. That's why we thought about telling the story of Maharana Pratap and having a horse in there to kind of, like, go with it. The history of Maharana Pratap in popular media or in popular channels is mostly, it ends at Haldi Ghati, the war of Haldi Ghati. But Maharana Pratap, Haldi Ghati happened in 1576, as you saw in the promo. But Maharana Pratap lived till 1597, and he had a lot of events from 1576 to 97, where he was the only one who kept Mewar independent during that time when most of the North India was under the Mughal rule, and he was basically creating a lot of a challenge to Akbar, who was the ruler from Delhi at that time. So the game basically goes into those parts of history, talks about the Battle of Diver, which is not very popular in general, but now we hope that it will become popular after our game.
Yeah, I like how today morning we started with games, but it's turned into a history lesson, and all of us are learning a little bit and revising our courses as well. But Pratap, let me bring you in. The concern when it comes to gaming is the addictiveness of it. I'm a mom now, so I can tell you I'm very worried about screen time all the moment. So what is it that you are doing differently that will address those concerns? I also know that Indian gaming is very highly sort of dependent on betting, which is again like a terrible habit. The government now is sort of cracking down on it as well. But how is this different, and how are you addressing concerns of screen time, of addiction?
Yeah, so it's a challenging problem to solve. What we thought we could do is, we cannot completely remove screens from child's life, right? Like we can try to minimize it. So that's why the product verticals that we have, the products that we are trying to build, they go from addressing the needs of a 3-year-old kid to a teenager to even youth, right? So when we are trying to address a 3-year-old kid, we have this book that we are also launching, and we will show on the show as well. So that is like, we start them with the concepts that we want to imbibe in them, right? So we start them with by telling them who are our heroes, and that's like a simple physical book. And if kids still, like, they still want to use YouTube, like I have a 3-year-old son, so I know like he uses still, however hard I try, he still uses YouTube and screen sometimes. So the idea here is, if they are anyways gonna use the screen, why not let them use it towards something that resonates with the values that the parents and family wants to instill in them. So that's the concept. Unfortunately, we cannot like completely with the digital games and with the apps, we cannot completely take away the screen time, but the idea is to minimize it and to use it towards and channel that energy and time towards something more productive for the kid.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Sudhanshu, last word to you then. What are you hoping to achieve with this? And when it comes to gaming, like I said, all the artists are in India, but the gaming platforms and the games are not so much, Dream 11 being an exception really over there. So what are we hoping in the industry on the whole with this?
Yeah, we are hoping to start a chain of games that are more value added, more bringing other than just transactional games, or just bringing a physical game like Ludo Online to like more games that are more immersive. So thinking about Japan, for example, in Japan there are a lot of games that are built on the history of Japan and their culture that are available, and they take very much pride in that. Those games are immersive. They require you to think, strategize while being in the context of Japan's history. We want to start that trend. We will, using our Legend of Bharat platform, want to make sure that every region of Bharat has heroes, and we will eventually go towards every region and build games on all heroes under this platform. So you know, our children, our youth can take pride in who we were while having a good time playing this game and addressing those challenges and reliving the journey.
And if there was any time to do this, it is now. It is such a massive India moment. So why should gaming be all about what the West has to offer? It has to be made in India. It has to be something that we can actually talk about and what we can offer to the world as well. Fab work, guys, and good luck with the game. We hope to see more and understand how this is going to progress. Thanks so much for joining us here on TVC.